Wu, Edwin Edeberry will be doing the business presentation overview.
Okay, all right, good stuff. Okay, good morning, everybody. Now, we can do a little bit better than that. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, I got to feed off of your energy. How about that? Okay, cool. So, the next about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, we're going to be breaking down exactly what we do, who we are, what we do, and how we do it. With the hope that when you leave here, you are able to decide if this is for you or it's not for you. Is that fair enough? All right. Now, let's do this, folks. If it is a yes, you go like this. If it's a no, you go like that. And if you are not sure, you can do one of this, okay? So, but I do need some communication, all right? So we're going to have some fun. Now, a little bit about my background. I was really fortunate in the early 90s to be involved in the internet, in the very beginning stage of it. At that time, very few people knew exactly where the World Wide Web was going. It sounded like a foreign language. And I started going from Chamber of Commerce to Chamber of Commerce, just trying to share with small business that this is the wave of the future, that the marketing is changed. Now, of course, it was more difficult then to convince people, not to talk of even just educate people, because there was no frame of reference. You were just trying to share with them something that you've seen coming, and with the hope that they will see it also. Well, now, hindsight is 2020. We've seen what's happened to the World Wide Web, and we've known now that any business that is serious about business have a website. At least they have some kind of web presence. Now, again, the business took off. I built one of the very early mall on the internet, and it was bought out by a company out of Mountain View, California. So that was my first experience into the internet business. So for me, this is history repeating itself. Except everybody have an idea of what's happening. Just how fast it's happening, people are still trying to kind of crumble with that, just try to embrace that. And so that's what you're going to be seeing. I used mobile apps to gain competitive advantage and success, just like I did back in the early 90s when I was telling people that having a website is a competitive advantage. Anytime you have a tool or you have something that your competition don't have, it gives you a slight edge until they can catch up, and then the playing field is level. I'll give you one quick example back in the 90s. Back then, for those of you that are familiar, it was only the big business that could do 4-color brochures. The small business could not, because just the cost of setting it up and because of the technology back then, it was so expensive. So a lot of the small business just settled for black and white and maybe 2 colors if they really tried to stretch it. But as far as 4-color brochures, it was only the big business. So when I would go to a small business, I say, hey, if you have a website and we're putting you up in 4 colors, you look just like the big company. And now when someone asks for your brochure, don't try printing it out. Just send them to your website and they see you just like they see any big business. Then it was a competitive advantage to the people who didn't have a website. Today, mobile app is. And then as we start to go into what is it that the mobile app can really do for small business, then you can see how competitive advantage it really is. Because it's going to help a small business to reduce their cost of doing business. It's going to help them increase their revenue. And anytime you can reduce your cost and you can increase your revenue, and your competition cannot do that, you have a competitive advantage. In short, New York Times said that mobile marketing is the most powerful media ever invented. And you're going to start to see why they say that. This is the evolution of technology. I was very fortunate again, in the early days of my college in the early 80s, I used mainframe. Then we do COBOL. We have card punch. And you better hold those cards together very well, because if it splashes to the floor, you're starting your job all over again. It wasn't very, very sympathetic with you. Then we have personal computing, we have internet computing, and now we're dealing with mobile computing. That is the evolution. Now somebody might say, well, I don't like it. Things are moving too fast. That's fine. You might make that decision. But if your business relies on consumers who are already ahead of the game, then you're going to be out of business if you don't find a way to keep yourself in front of technology. So these are some of the facts. Clear by now, the world has gone mobile. Okay? 78% of Americans between the age of 15 and 64 have a smartphone. Now, folks, let me put this in proper perspective for you. When I started my research in the early part of this year, and I have to kind of back up very quickly, I did not have an intention of starting a mobile app business. Okay, I was in a movie house, and you know how before the movie there's advertisement coming through? And I noticed all the large businesses were not asking people to visit their website, which is what everyone used to do at the end of the ad. They were asking people to download their apps. And that kind of just got my attention. I said, whoa, there is a shift in the marketplace. And it intrigued me. So I started doing research. My initial intention was to write a book about the shift. As a matter of fact, I wrote an article that was published at the University of California Davis radio magazine. And the title was From Visit to Download. And so that was a shift. However, the more I dig into it, when you're writing a book, you research based on facts, okay? Because somebody else picked the book and read it and tried to dissect it, you need to be able to substantiate everything you put on the book. So I wasn't looking at it from a point of business, I was looking at just facts for a book. But the more I researched, the bigger it gets. And then I came across two sets of information. Number one, the Forbes says the app business was going to grow to $55 billion in just 2 years. Second statistics, that 99% of small business do not currently have an app, and they need one. Folks, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to put those two information together and know there exists an opportunity. And so I told myself, Seth, the book can kind of stay on hold, and let's look at the business. That's how this whole thing started. Then, what I had to do is to verify the information that I've already gathered. So, I scheduled a workshop at the Davis Chamber of Commerce here locally. I did one at the Agro Chamber of Commerce, and I did another at the Reading Chamber of Commerce. Now, these are three distinct marketplaces. And they became my focus group. And I left out there more impressed than when I got into it. And I'm going to be sharing some of those discoveries with you, because when you have your potential clients telling you what they want and how they want it, that's not selling. You know, somebody once said that the best way to sell is to find somebody who's ready to buy. And that was the kind of environment that I found myself. So in that beginning time, the fact was that 50% of that same age group had smartphone. That was as of December. As of July, it went to 78%. So you can see how quickly this is changing. We are all within 9 feet of our smartphone at all times. I think that has changed also, because I hardly see anybody more than 3 feet of their smartphone, okay? So, and then 9 out of 10 smartphone searches end in the user taking action. You know, you can go on your laptop, you can go on your desktop and browse. But when you're on your phone, you're taking care of business. Okay? And then finally, every business organization needs an app. Folks, when you are at that very early stage of a technology that has the opportunity to go this widespread, you don't have to be good to make money. You just have to stay in front of it. You know, somebody was sharing with me the other day about the X factor. And the whole concept of the X factor is, once the population starts to use something, once it gets to about 10% of the population using something, that thing takes off. And it keeps going like rocket until 90% use it before it flattens out. We saw that with automobiles. Before Henry Ford came, only the very wealthy people could ride a car. And then he found a way to do it cheap, and boom, people start riding car. What happened? It took off. We saw that with microwave. Only the very wealthy was using microwave, and even then people were thinking you're going to microwave yourself to death, right? But the moment it got to 10%, what happened? It took off. Now, we know this is going to rise because all the big business are talking about it. So our advantage is getting hold of small business, educating them to see that this is the way of the future, this is the way marketing is going to be done. What is an app? I made this mistake at my very first workshop when I went to Davis Chamber of Commerce, and I just started doing my thing, and about halfway through somebody stood up and said, "Wait, what the hell am I doing here? What is an app?" So I promised I won't make that mistake again. An app is an application. Application is a software program. Today, folks, we're talking about mobile apps. Okay, that small device. You know, somebody was drawing an analogy, and I don't really know how accurate this is, so don't take it from me. But they were saying that when the NASA first took their first aircraft to space, that the whole computer gadget stuff is about what we carry along in our hand today. So you can see how powerful what we carry is, and it gets even more powerful. There is an app for that. Can you name it? Whether it's games, which is really where most people think app is all about. But there's lifestyle, there's music, there's entertainment. Okay, there's on the go. I remember the on the go very well in terms of transition, because I graduated from school in Boston. So I got admission for my MBA in the early 80s into Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach, Florida. I'd never been to Florida. So what did I do? I drove to the nearest AAA. I said, "Hey, I'm going to Florida." And they said, "No problem." So they brought out the map of the East Coast. And they brought out their yellow highlighter. And they put the point, "Here you are." And they draw the straight line all the way to Daytona Beach. Now, they didn't tell me about the mountains in Virginia. Okay? You know, so that was on my own. And, but I did make it to Daytona Beach, and I'm here to tell you that the trip was successful. But today, you can say the same thing on your smartphone and say Daytona Beach, Florida. And some nice voice will come up and say, "Go 15 miles and turn right and then turn left." And you are about 100 feet to the right of your destination. That's how apps have taken us. That's how technology have taken us. As a matter of fact, I know my accent already gave me away, okay? You know, from Nigeria, we are plagued with malaria. There's somebody that's done an app for mosquito. And it works. I tried it. So next time you go on the camp, make sure you download the app for mosquito. Don't let mosquito have fun with you, okay? And so there is an app, you know, for everything, all right? So during the workshop, folks, the misconception was this. Majority of the small business that were in my session, they thought app was just for games and entertainment. Okay, can we turn on the light? So that, you know, I don't want to be just one dot that is moving around in this right now. So we can definitely use some extra light here. Okay, thank you very much. Hey, that's me. All right. So they thought that app was simply for games and entertainment. Majority of them thought it was for big business because they have IT department and they have the budget. And of course, they all thought it was too expensive. So we have to figure out a way, number one, to educate business that it's not just games and entertainment, that the future, the very future of your business is depending on this. It's not a choice thing. Okay. Number two, we have to figure out a way to bring the price down. And I know sometimes when we talk about mobile app, people get it confused. They think we are talking about mobile website. No, you can go to WordPress and press a few buttons and convert your website to a mobile website. And all that does is just allow you to be able to read website on a small screen. But we are talking about native app. Native application that can be downloaded from the app stores. And that's major difference. So what can you do with an app? So if you are a small business, you listen to this, what can you do with an app? According to USA Today, July 16 or July 11, but somewhere around there, they said that the new American business model is sharing. and that is the convergence of social media and mobile application. So if you are a small business and you don't figure out a way for others to share your business, you are working too hard. Okay? And that's one of the main features that we put in the application, in the app. Easy sharing. Once somebody downloads your app, with one click, they can share it on their Facebook, they can tweet about it, they can post it to their email list, and they can send text messages. So imagine you are a company, one person downloads your app, and that one person happens to have a huge network of followers, you could easily go viral. GPS direction. Nobody's going to be calling you to ask direction to your place anymore. That's just too much work. Okay? Do you have events and calendar you can post on the app? The more events you actually post, the more active your app is going to be. And here's one thing, a lot of my colleagues who are involved in SEO are really confused right now. Search engine optimization business. Google is gradually moving from website popularity and website keyword to apps popularity and app keywords. That's going to change the whole game. So you might have a really nice website and it's great, but guess what? If everybody that is reaching you is on their mobile device, the folks with app are going to be popping up first before you pop up. That's not a fair competition at all. Okay. Push notification. That's another big one. I remember in the early 90s when I first got involved with internet, email became commercialized. At that time, email was enjoying 90+% open rate. And I know how many of you remember the famous phrase from AOL, you got mail. Okay, when you heard that, you stopped everything. Hey, I got email, all right. And you cannot wait to check what was in that email. I even still remember back in the days when somebody sent you email, they call you, hey, I sent you email. Yes, okay, right. You get excited. Now today, guess what? There's 289 billion emails per day. And 89% of that goes into junk mail. And the rest, people are dodging. People create so many different email addresses to send email to places they don't want, to come. There's about 4 to 5% open rate, and that is over 48 to 72 hours. So if you were doing something very special, like tomorrow, and you send email to people today, they might be checking your email day after tomorrow, when the event is already passed. With push notification, you can push information to people on their palm, and they cannot help before they make another call, but to drop down that window and see what it is. Curiosity will kill them until they see. So right now, we are enjoying a 90+% open rate on push notification. So, business information, image gallery. Folks, they say the picture is worth 1,000 words. So you get to give them some valuable picture of your product, of your establishment, just things you want people to know and see about what you currently do. What else can you do with an app? Okay, what else can you do with an app? Lead generation. Okay. Again, for every small business, they rely on what? Leads. Word of mouth. Okay, so when you download an app, what do? You can capture the name and email of the person who downloaded it. They forward it to somebody else. You can download the name and email of that person. So you can definitely build a lead generation. Multiple ways to contact you. And this is another part that's really critical, folks. I think we live in a one-finger world. If somebody cannot do the thing with one finger, that's too much work. Okay, if they can make a phone call by clicking one finger and dial you, or looking for direction, click one finger on their phone, they're not going to do www.whateverit is.com. They're just not going to do that. That's just too much. Okay. Ask analytics. This is the back office. This is the backbone. This is where you track who download your app, who they forward it to, and what pages they visit. So that way you can adjust your marketing strategy to get the most buck. Most buck for your investment. Here is an example. Restaurant. Okay, there are about 13 million restaurants in the US alone. 13 million restaurants. Now, a fairly decent restaurant, you have to make a reservation to get there, right? So what do? The host take your name and the time. When you show up, they take you to your table, introduce the waiter, and the waiter right away is ready to take order. Now, as nice as they are, they have one thing in mind: get you in and get you out so they can get the next person. Okay? So, what if we build an app for that restaurant? And instead of them calling to make a reservation, they can actually download your app for free. Oops, wait a second now. The other day somebody asked me, who would download an app of a restaurant? Folks, this is the school of thought we want to change. See, people are still thinking app as it relates to games. Sure, if you're an Angry Bird, you need 10 million people to download your app, because at 99 cents, you need that much people to make money and get return on investment for the venture capitals. But if you're a restaurant, you don't need 10 million download. You don't even need 10,000 download. In short, if miraculously you get 10,000 download, you could go out of business. Think about it. You know, you got 10,000 people download your app and you push notification. Hey, we got 2 for 1 coupon. Come on down. And 1,000 people show up. The Kishi guy will vanish. He's gone. You know, the chef is like, I'm not here. Okay. A restaurant don't need 10,000. If you're a local restaurant, you got 200, 300, 400, 500 downloads, you are in good shape. You have a down market and you shoot out the coupon, and about 20, 25 people show up, that just takes your business to the next level. So we have to stop thinking games, and we have to start thinking app as a tool to what? Reduce your cost of doing business and increase your revenue. So, if I am a customer and I'm coming to your restaurant anywhere, all you got to do is give me a free drink and I will download your app. Okay? If I download your app and I can make a reservation on the app, and I can check menu while I'm there, I can place order while I'm there, I can even pay for it at the comfort of my own home or in my own car, or while I'm taking a walk towards your restaurant. Folks, that is convenient. That's what business is about. Make it convenient for your customer and they will continue to patronize you. Now, for the restaurant, what does it do? Reduce the cost of doing business. You don't need as many waiters anymore. The host can now do some other stuff instead of just taking phone call and writing them down. But you also increase revenue. Because now you can turn the table a few more times, and this is the killer, folks. You can now keep profile. Do you know a lot of restaurants don't have profile of their customers? Even when you pay with credit card, they just take the dollar amount, punch it into their cash register, and that's it. Now you know what customer buy. And we can even start to apply AOS strategy to it. You know, when they are ordering salmon, for example, you can have a bottle of wine show up. People who order salmon, order red wine. Now, maybe they didn't want wine, but guess what? Click. And that just increased your revenue. That's app in the restaurant environment. But what about politicians? Now, I was at a luncheon the other day, and I made this prediction. 4 years from now, folks, any politician that don't have an app don't stand a chance. And it doesn't even matter if you're an incumbent, unless there's nobody challenging you. Because the whole world is changed. People want to do things that is easy and easier. Okay, so why would a politician need an app? For the same reasons. To be able to collect donations, to be able to facilitate volunteers, to be able to push information to supporters very gently on a regular basis. Now you may ask the same question, because I've asked that question so many times. Who would download an app of a politician? Again, we have to stop thinking games. The same people that take your signpost and put it in front of their house will be the same people that will download your app. The same people that comes to the call center, and help you make phone calls, so people will download your app. Now, if those people download your app, guess what? With the easy share or tell a friend, they can post it on Facebook. They can tweet about it. Before you know it, your supporter base have grown. That's how elections are going to be won in the future. Place of worship. Now, why would a church or a mosque need an app? The same reason, folks. The world has gone mobile. We did an app for St. James Church in Reading. The main motivation was, if the members cannot come to church and they are traveling, have them download the app and watch the sermon on the app. How cool is that? Now, do you think people usually need prayer when they are at the comfort of their home, everything is going well? They're probably on the road and they need prayer. Bring out your phone, quick. Send prayer request. And then it doesn't hurt to be able to at least make your contribution over the app, since we are on the go. And then finally, non-profit. Okay. Again, why would the non-profit need an app? To facilitate donation, volunteers, push notification. Folks, again, what we are trying to do is having impact on the whole app industry and changing it from just the download part to a tool. A tool that can make whatever you do a little bit easier. That can make you more effective and that make you more efficient. When we build an our app, it's good on the app stores. Whether it's iPhone or iPad or Android. And that actually is over 90% of all the smartphones that is in use today. But we also create a QR code for you to use in your marketing effort. So with the QR code, you can put it on your website. So if people are on your website, they can use their smartphone to just scan and download your app. If you're a restaurant, can you print a QR code on your menu? Yes. So while they are ordering, they can scan and download your app. You can put it on your print ad. You can put it on your business card. As a matter of fact, I think I have one here. Yeah. See that red stuff? It says scan me. Okay, so again, folks, we're making marketing a lot easier for you to do with an app. And this is the best part. Going through small business and just kind of hearing them and finding out what price falls within your radar. And they say, if it's less than $1,000, we can do it. Now, of course, we had a challenge. Can we build a native app for less than $1,000? We have to start thinking for the future. We have to start thinking for the long term haul. And so for $9.95, we can build an app that's good on iPhone, that's good on Android. But not only that, that's very comprehensive scope that allow you to brand yourself, your color, your GPS direction, one-touch calling, one-touch telefriend. Again, that helps you to go viral. Information about your company. Now, I just advise people, don't treat an app like you treat a website. Don't bog it down with all the information. Put relevant information. If they want more, they can click one button and go to your website. Okay. Shopping cart if you need one. Blog integration. Okay. Event listing, image gallery, mailing list, audio, video, push notification. Folks, it's a very comprehensive application to help small to mid-sized business. And then we look at your industry and we pre-identify features that is unique to you that could even enhance your app for you to get more results. So that's what we do. And plus we create a QR code for you to use to market yourself. And we also integrate your social media. So if you have an existing social media presence, you have a Facebook, you have a Twitter, we can integrate that in the back end. Now that's different than the Easy Share. The Easy Share is for the person who download your app to put it on their own Facebook and their Twitter and stuff like that. But the social media integration is in the back end. It encourages them to follow you on your Facebook and for them to follow you on the Twitter. So a way, as more people download your app, you can actually use that to also enhance your Facebook presence. Because there's stuff people do very neatly now on Facebook. The more people you have following you, the more result you will also get from them. Then, finally, we have a $59 a month monthly service fee. And this allows us to continually update the software, so anybody from anywhere using your software will always be using the latest version of the software. If Apple come up with some stuff, we are ready for that. If the a smartphone manufacturer come up with something, we are ready for that. They also provide secure hosting, app analytics, that's what gives you all the data, and the push notification. Now the best part is it's month-to-month. So there is no long-term contract. It's not like, hey, we got you and you're stuck for the rest of your life. No. If it is absolutely not working for you, we stop it. And there is no string attached to it. So right now, we're looking at the first market advantage. With new technology, the people who get in first benefit majorly. Guess what? A lot of people are waiting for others to try it first. And by the time those people come, everybody have already downloaded the apps they want. This is what folks are not understanding right now. The smartphone you carry has a maximum number of apps that you can download. I think the last time I checked, it's like 264. So right now, if you're a restaurant, or you're a church, or you're a politician, or actually any business for that matter, we're doing an app for a real estate broker, okay, all you got to do right now is ask people to download your app, and guess what? They will download it. But once their app is filled up, guess what? It becomes a little bit more difficult because now they have to uninstall one in order for them to download yours. And you've lost that edge. So there is a sense of urgency. Stay ahead of the curve. Be where your customer are. Your customers are not sitting in front of the table anymore. They are on the palm of their hand. They are mobile. And then finally, you can get more return of your investment the earlier you start, as opposed to waiting later on when everybody else is doing it. So we encourage you to be a market leader. Be the first person in your neighborhood, or your community, or your industry to have an app, so that you have that edge over the rest of the people. So that is it for the product discussion. Any questions? Okay, are we good? All right. Wow, that quick, no question, huh?